Hello, sports fans, and welcome to Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday. I know I'm a little late today because I had just gone back to work today at my job at Heinen's. So what I'm going to do is we will make it the early and late games, pregame and postgame show for the early games, and late game pregame show because the late games are still going on. And most of them are at halftime. But first, we'll go over all this week's games, and we'll preview the Browns game for tonight and the late games. We'll talk about them, and we'll preview the Monday night game for tomorrow night. But first, here is today's Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday trivia question. Which quarterback led the Rams to a victory in Super Bowl 34? I will have the answer later on the podcast. Well, it's week 3 of the NFL, and your 1-1 Cleveland Browns will take on the LA Rams on Sunday Night Football at home at First Energy Stadium tonight. The Browns got their first win of the season against the New York Jets last Monday night in week 2. Browns defensive end Myles Garrett was fined for 2 roughing passer penalties against the New York Jets quarterback, Trevor Siemian. Per NFL Network's Tom Pelissero, the NFL docked Garrett a total of $42,112 for his infractions during Monday's 23-3 win. Garrett was flagged twice in the first half for roughing the passer. Now, I think it was I think we all knew it was going to happen that Myles Garrett was going to get docked for this. The second one came in the second quarter and resulted in Siemian suffering a season-ending ankle injury that would require surgery. So the Browns star was flagged for a total of 4 penalties and addressed questions about being a dirty player this week. And he says, though, he is going to he's not going to have this happen every week, but he's going to continue to play this game the way it should be played, which is violent and passionately. And that's how it's supposed to be played. And Jets third-string quarterback Luke Falk finished the game on Monday night. Now, the Browns know the game against the Rams tonight is going to be a big challenge by far, as head coach Freddie Kitchens said. And the Browns will test their primetime luck for the second week in a row. Now, there is so much for Baker Mayfield to work on in week 3, but we all know he is smart enough to see on tape what is wrong and make those adjustments to get back to the player he was a year ago. The question is, how quickly can the switch be flipped? And when will it? Will it be this week against the Rams? Only time will tell. Now the main things that fans need to see are him not throwing off his back foot. And that's a must right there. Yeah. And checking the ball down more often and not holding the ball as long. It's fantastic when he can extend plays and look for yards and chunks, but that becomes more of a deterrent than an asset when he used to go long on every play. Now Baker Mayfield, he really has to not get sacked at all, and the offensive defense and the defensive front line, they need to protect Baker Mayfield. And the Browns are going to have to strike early in this game if they want to win this game tonight. And they're going to have to really pad that lead, and they're going to really have to put the pressure on the Rams. They're going to have to jump on the Rams early tonight. And Jared Goff, who was quarterbacking for LA tonight, last year averaged 293 yards, passing and 2 touchdowns per game. Through 2 weeks of action in 2019, Goff is averaging 234 yards passing and 1 touchdown per game. And it's a very small sample size to go off of, but he has gotten off to a bit of a slow start. Despite the beginning the year at 2-0, nonetheless, the Rams get the edge at quarterback due to the former first overall pick's proven production as top-level quarterback in Sean McVay's offense and also his defense as well. Now the Rams are very well coached, and they're really going to have, and the Browns are really going to have to really strike early. And I really think, and I'm going to say, and I have picked this, I am picking the Browns to win this game this week. And a lot of people are saying, there's people that say the Browns. There's one guy, Matt Wood, who was on Dogs by Nature, who that was said there's some predictions, and he's saying Browns 27, Rams 24, and he thinks the Browns are really going to shock. They're willing to come out and have a great performance tonight. And there's one guy saying 30-10 Browns over the Rams, and there's others saying that the Rams are going to come out and beat the Browns, but there's others saying that the Browns are going to beat the Rams, and I have a feeling this could be the big upset of the week. And we will wait and see and find out what happens tonight. Now, I got to tell you, I just really feel, now, Freddie Kitchens knows what his team needs to do, and he's told his team that. And he and the offensive coordinator are going to be calling the plays, and he wants his team to really dominate against the LA Rams tonight at First Energy Stadium. And they're going to have that home crowd behind them. And I think Baker Mayfield's really going to come out and just really upset the Rams tonight. And I really think the Browns in general are going to upset the Rams by far tonight. Excuse me for just a moment. Much better. We will talk more NFL action in just a moment, but right now it is time to reveal the answer to today's Scott Sports 101 NFL Football Sunday trivia question. Which QB led the Rams to a victory in Super Bowl 34? And if you said Kurt Warner, you are correct. Kurt Warner on January 30th, 2000 at the Georgia Dome in Atlanta, Warner became the 6th player to win both Super Bowl MVP and NFL MVP during the same season. And I have another trivia question on my next broadcast, so stay tuned for that, which will be tomorrow night on Monday Night Football. Now we're going to go over some other NFL action right now, starting with the game that was played Thursday night football. The Jacksonville Jaguars got their first win of the season over the Tennessee Titans 20-7 at TIAA Bank Field in Jacksonville, Florida. And I got to give it to Jacksonville's quarterback, who got the game ball for that one Thursday night, which was, Gardner Minshew II. He had 20 of 30 carries, 204 yards, 2 touchdowns. Leonard Ferrante, 15 carries, 66 yards, DJ Clark, 4 receptions, 76 yards, 1 touchdown. So it was just the Jaguars' night because the Jaguars had this one in hand from the get-go. The Dallas Cowboys just walloped the Miami Dolphins to go to 3-0. 31-6. Miami falls to 0-3, and they are just off to a horrible start. And I know fans in Miami are just saying we're sick of it. and I know they're not happy. So Miami's got to really look at their mistakes from all three of these past games, and they're going to have to really figure out what's wrong and really make adjustments and correct these mistakes and fix them. But Miami falls to 0-3. The Buffalo Bills beat the Cincinnati Bengals 21-17 at Ralph Wilson Stadium in Buffalo, and the Bengals just could not get it together today in this game, and I got to really give the game ball to Josh Allen. I got to give it to him, and I got to give the one for Dallas. I have to give to Dak Prescott and Ezekiel Elliott as well. The Detroit Lions came out of nowhere today and beat the Philadelphia Eagles 27-24 at Lincoln Financial Field in Philadelphia, and I got to give the game ball to Matt Stafford for that. I have to give it to him and Kerryon Johnson as well. The New England Patriots go to 3-0 as they just whooped the New England Patriots 30-14, and at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough. And I got to give it to Tom Brady. I have to give the game ball to him by far. And the Jets, they're just still just having problems, and they're just not just the team. They're not not a good team right now. And so the Jets fall to 0-3. Actually 1-3. Excuse me. They go to 1-3. Fall to 1-3. So they'll have to look at their mistakes and try to come up with a solution to beat their opponent next week. And Sam Darnold is still out with mono, so we'll see what happens next week with the Patriots and with who they play, and the Jets with who they play. The Indianapolis Colts beat the Atlanta Falcons 27-24 at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, and I got to give the game ball to Jeremy Brissett. He just really had a great game today, so I give the game ball to him. And Atlanta, they had a chance to win, but just fell short. The Minnesota Vikings beat the Oakland Raiders 34-14 at U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, and the Raiders they couldn't get together, and they fall to 1-3, and the Vikings go to 3-1. They go to, and I give the game ball to their Minnesota's quarterback. I give it to him. I just can't remember his name off the top of my head, and just check me just if I'm wrong. The Kansas City Chiefs beat the Baltimore Ravens 33-28 at Arrowhead Stadium in KC, and I give the game ball to Patrick Mahomes II by far. The Green Bay Packers beat the Denver Broncos 27-16 at legendary Lambeau Field in Green Bay, Wisconsin. And boy, Denver just could not get together. They look good early on, but they just could not get together. And I give the game ball to Aaron Rodgers and Aaron Jones. I give it to them. So, and in the late games the Panthers are squaring off with the Cardinals, and they're in the third quarter. The Giants and Buccaneers are in the third quarter. The Saints and Seahawks are in the third quarter, and the Seahawks are up 10-7 in that. And the Giants are beating the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 15-10, and the Panthers and the Cardinals are tied at 7. The Chargers are beating the Texans 10-7. They're in the third quarter, and the Steelers and Niners. It's I think it's a 7-7 tie. Check me if I'm wrong. And I said the Browns will take on the Rams on Sunday Night Football, and tomorrow night, Monday Night Football, the Chicago Bears will take on the Washington Redskins at FedEx Field in Washington, D.C. And right now, I am 7-2 on my picks because I've read you some, so I think you might have pretty much figured out who I have taken, because I've taken Tennessee, Philadelphia, KC, Buffalo, Indianapolis, Minnesota, New England, Dallas, Tampa Bay, Arizona, Seattle, the Chargers, Niners and Browns and Chicago.